Hey, Maximizers! Welcome to my life. If this is your first time watching me, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Crystal, aka Krista Maximizer, and I am a content coach. And I help product based business owners and business owners in general create consistent content that converts into consistent sales so they don't have to hire influencers or run paid ads. I've been creating content on Beyonce's internet since 2018. I started off teaching women how to coupon and how to budget, how to meal plan, how to strategically save money so they did not have to buy everything. They could get what they want, like, and need without paying full price. And at that point, I had been couponing for 10 years. It's 7 years later, so I've been couponing for 17 years. Woo! And I absolutely loved teaching women how to save money. But in 2020, my clients were like, hey, Crystal, we want help starting YouTube channels. We want help starting businesses. We want help starting side hustles because there's a pandemic out here and we don't know how our jobs are going to go. Like, we've saved a crap ton of money, but now we want to make money. Teach us what you did. And I was like, okay. Then my business coach was like, hey, Crystal, you've been one of my star students. I want you to come and coach my people. And I was like, okay. So in 2020, I accidentally became a business coach. It wasn't my goal. It wasn't my intention. It wasn't my focus. It wasn't even a thought in my mind of being a business coach until my clients asked me to help them, until my business coach was like, hey, come do this. And I was like, okay, I don't know a lot, but I literally just taught my audience what I did. I taught them. And that's how I became a business coach. And for 3 years, I did both. Forward facing, I was your coupon girl. I was pumping out a crap ton of couponing content. And then behind the scenes, I was teaching my clients how to start YouTube channels, how to build their businesses, how to take the idea from their brain and turn it into a profitable business that they love. And over those 3 years, I actually fell in love with it. I enjoyed helping women with their business. I was helping women make thousands of dollars in their business. I was helping women who just had a hobby or a small little hustle or something that they enjoyed to do. I helped them figure out like how to make money from it. And I really did fall in love with being a business coach. But in 2023, I struggled. I was struggling in life and I was struggling with business because I felt torn. Things in couponing were going well. The business was doing okay. I wanted to create more business content, but it was hard because my audience and my SEO on YouTube was all about couponing. But I was like, I need to pick one because it's so hard to talk to two different audiences. Yeah, I helped women save money and make money, but the riches are in the niches. And I've learned that the more specific you get, the more opportunity you're going to be able to make more money. And I was like, I need to pick. Either I'm going to stick here and continue to do couponing, or I'm going to make a pivot and I'm going to focus more on business coaching. But at that point, I was like, nothing bad happens when women make more money. I was enjoying helping women start and grow their businesses. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be a business coach. So in 2023, I started my second YouTube channel, Build a Business with Chris. It's Build a Business with KRYS. So go subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because I needed a fresh audience of women who wanted to start and grow their businesses. And I needed a fresh pot of them to basically build an audience for, because I had built all of my platforms based on couponing and I had tens of thousands of followers based on couponing and money saving. And I was like, if I'm going to make this pivot, I need to make a fresh YouTube channel, because it would probably have taken me 5 years, if ever, to try to change the SEO of my couponing channel. And I was like, you know what? Let's just start something from scratch. So in 2023, I started a brand new channel. In 2024, I closed down all of my couponing programs. I let go of a lot of clients. I let go of thousands of dollars of monthly recurring revenue. Thank you so much for those likes on Instagram. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a business coach. But because my life fell apart in 2023, 2024 did not go as planned. Hi, Nevaeh. Life did not go as planned for me at all in regards to my business. Because my life was falling apart and I was in such a not so good place, I wasn't selling or building that new audience in the way that I wanted to, the way that I planned in my head. It did not go as planned. But one thing I also realized is that I was being an anything coach for everybody. And one thing I've also learned is if you sell to everyone, you sell to no one. Now, there are products out here that every person can use, right? But even when you look at marketing, they market it to a specific type of person, right? Everybody needs a refrigerator. But when you see refrigerator commercials and things of that nature, you usually see a woman in that commercial, a family in that commercial, a kid in that commercial. Everybody needs a refrigerator. But it's not just, hey, Frigidaire's not, hey, you need a refrigerator, get this one. No, they're always telling you some sort of story around it, right? So I was like, I'm being an anything coach for everybody. Like it's not working out. I said I need to niche down, but I'm like, I don't know what my niche is in business coaching. Like I didn't know. So I asked myself, I said, okay, if I was a client, what would I say? I would say, number one, what have you done really, really well in your business to make you successful? And then number two, what have you helped your clients the most with? The answer to that question was content. I'm here today because I started a YouTube channel on a whim. I'm here today because I've created over 2,000 YouTube videos and gone live over 1,000 times. If it wasn't for my consistent content, I wouldn't have made any money. From all of that content that I've created across all of my platforms, but mostly YouTube, I've been able to make over $400,000 on social media in the past 6 years. If it wasn't for me being consistent on social media and building an audience and offering them a solution to their problem via my content on video like this, I would not have been able to be successful. So I said, that's it. I'm going to be a content coach for business owners. And also, my biz bestie's here, so she's going to crack up. I don't see it as much anymore now, so thank God. I was so sick and tired of seeing businesses not get sales because they're simply just saying, buy this or support a small business or support a Black business, support a woman-owned business. There's this guy that I follow on Threads, and literally every night he's like, support my business. Now, do people come in and support him? Yes. But I'm like 2 days away from being like, do you mind if I give you one bit of advice? Instead of you telling us, hey, I'm up late working on my small business, show us the hoodies, because he has an apparel brand, right? Show us the t-shirts that you're packaging up. Show us the artwork that you're working on for the next drop. Show us you packaging them and taking them to the office. Show us you messing up the labels and having to reprint them. Like, that will make more people want to buy, instead of you every single day saying, go support my business, go buy a shirt. Like, why would I buy a shirt from you? Why is your shirt different? Tell me your story. Say something besides go buy the shirt. I got sick and tired of seeing businesses do that. And I'm like, you're leaving so much money on the table by not sharing the why. I said, I gotta do content coaching. And then in 2024, later, I got even more specific and focusing on mostly product-based business owners. Once I made those shifts, I was able to sign clients every single month. And that brings me to the crystal that's here today. We are focusing on helping product-based business owners create consistent content. But there's going to be a little switch up and a mini pivot along with that too. We're still staying in the content realm, but I'm going to get even more specific than I am right now. Even more specific, okay? So that's my 5-minute story about me, how I got here, how I got started. And this topic for tonight is actually perfect, because we're going to talk about how to stop struggling in your business. Content is a huge part of my business, but it's a part of it. Content's not the whole everything of my business. There's a lot more things happening behind the scenes, things that you don't see that need to happen in your business for things to flow, right? I always say to people, you don't want to go viral, right? Because if you don't have some of these things that I'm going to talk about tonight, you could go viral and your business is going to break. You're not going to be able to fulfill the sales, fulfill the orders, help your customers and your clients because you don't have these things in place, right? So I'd love to know who's watching. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from, what city, what state, what country are you watching from? And tell us in the comments, what is your business? So where are you watching from and what is your business? And I'm going to dig into 5 ways you cannot struggle in your business and like what you can do instead. So 5 ways to stop struggling in your business, okay? But let me know where you're watching from and what your business is. I'm in the Central Florida area. I actually live in Lake County now. This is my first time living in a different county if I lived in Florida for 12 or 13 years. Technically, I've lived in Florida for 13 years. I moved here in 2012, and then I was in Baltimore for the COVID year, but I've been a Florida resident since 2012. And this is my first time living in a different county. I lived in that other county the whole time. Like I lived in Osceola County the whole time I've lived in Florida. So it's really weird for me to be like, I live in Lake County. Like I don't live in Disney County anymore because Disney technically is half in Osceola, half in Orange. Like I don't live in the Disney County anymore. Oh, so sad. But anywho, where are y'all watching from and what's your business? So I'm in Lake County. And like I said, my business is content coaching, and I help business owners create consistent content in their business that converts into consistent sales. And I'm addicted to Fruit Punch Powerade. Like, I'm not a Gatorade girl. I love Powerade and I love Fruit Punch. Don't give me no other flavor. I'll drink blue, but I don't know what is it blue glacier? No, blue glacier is Gatorade. I'll drink the blue one of Powerade, but my favorite is red. Okay. So where are you watching from and what your business is? Would love to know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Let me know where y'all are watching from and what your business is. Thank y'all. Oh shoot, I'm turning my lights down. I'm in Baltimore County and I help introverts grow sustainable businesses. Yes. I love how you put Baltimore County. I usually be telling people I'm from Baltimore because I feel like people outside of Baltimore don't get the city county, but like us, we get the city county. Like it's a whole new world. Yeah, when I came to Florida, I straight was like, I'm from Baltimore. Have y'all seen The Wire? Oh my God. But it helped. It helped. It helped so much. But some people don't even like understand it. They don't get the difference. Um, but anywho, thanks for joining. Hey, thanks for joining on YouTube. Let us know where you're watching from and what your business is. Me too. But then people ask about the city, and I'm like, I have no idea about the city. Guess what? I'm like, I visit my family in the city, but like even the people that are in the city, like they can see it on you that you're like not from the city. Like they can just tell. Like they literally can just tell. I feel like my mom was always a chameleon because like she is from the city, but she's lived a lot of her life in the county, like with us growing up. Um, so she's good in both, but they could tell that we're not from there. They will call us county mounties. Even my stepdad will call us county mounties. And I'm like, oh, look who's living in the county now. And he went to the same high school as me. Because he was being bad. His mother was like, we're going to the county. Like he actually went to the same high school. I went to the same high school as him because he went there first. But anywho, enough about that. Let's talk about how you can stop struggling in your business. Hey, thanks for popping in. Just let me know where you're watching from and what your business is. I see y'all watching. Don't be afraid to jump in the comments. Okay, so the first thing that you can do to stop struggling in your business is to set goals for yourself. I didn't realize how important it was as a business owner to set goals, to give yourself guidance. So coming from the corporate world, someone else was always giving us the goals. Even when I was a server, and I worked at Joe's Crab Shack, and I worked at a brand new restaurant like this when I started working there in July. That restaurant had just opened, I want to say in like May. Like it had only been open for 2 or 3 months when I got there, but it wasn't a new company. But they would come in every day and they would tell us like, our sales goal for the night is 10,000 or 6,000 or 8,000. Like that will be our sales full goal. And they would want us to upsell and sell more crab pots and drinks and such so that they could meet their goal. So every day they came in, we had a goal. When I worked in corporate office jobs and I was an admin at Florida Virtual School, they were like, okay, for this month, we want to enroll, I don't know, 5,000 students in the virtual school, or we want to enroll into 5,000 courses, not necessarily individual students, but they wanted to make sure that 5,000 courses were being enrolled to, right? Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Every place I worked, we had a goal. When I was a sales recruiter, we had yearly revenue goals that the timeshare company had to meet. So in order for them to make, I don't know, $10 million in timeshare sales, they needed to make X amount of dollars in vacation package sales, which means they need to make X amount of reservations, which means they need X amount of agents on the floor to make those timeshare sales. So they had people for the presentations to sell the $10 million in timeshare. Okay. So it's like every single business has goals, and your business cannot be the exception. But it wasn't until I hired my business coach that she was like, you have to do a yearly sales plan. And my brain broke because I was so used to somebody else making a plan, and I was planning week to week, month to month. But I did not sit down in that first year and a half of my business and was like, I want to make $10,000. I didn't put a money amount because I didn't know how I was going to make money outside of YouTube. I was like, okay, I have this little $5 membership. Like, hopefully I can make $500 a month. But I didn't have a long-term goal or expectation of myself, of my business. And I thought that, oh, because I was new, I was just figuring this out. I literally was just like throwing spaghetti at the wall to see if it fixed. If I made money, great. If I did it, it's okay. Because I have a 9 to 5 that's paying my bills. Like, I wasn't dependent on my business to live and survive and thrive. So I didn't realize the importance of goals. But once I paid my money to her, she was like, no, you need a yearly sales plan. And it broke my brain. So we set a yearly goal for the amount of money that we wanted to make. And I was a money girl, so I understood the importance of like breaking up money. And I had not sales goals. I had savings goals for myself. So what she did was she was like, okay, how much money do you want to make for the year? Okay. And now add 20 or 30% to it. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, based on the amount of money that you want to make for the year, how many of your products or services do you need to sell? Because then that would allow you to be like, okay, if you got to sell 10,000 products in a year, either you need to increase your price or lower your goal. Because if you only sold 500, going from 500 to 10,000, it's not impossible, but it's impractical for where you are in business, right? So we set yearly sales goals. And then based on the amount of money we wanted to make, we figured out how many of our specific offers or products did we need to sell. And then we broke up those goals into quarterly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals, right? If you want to make $1,000 a month, that's 12,000 a year. That means 1,000 a month is 250 a week. Over 5 days, that's like $50 a day in sales. If you sell a $25 product, you got to sell 2 of those every single week to reach your goal. 2 of those every day to reach your goal. Excuse me, $25 product. You would have to sell 2 every single day. You'd have to sell 10 every single week in order to reach your goal, right? So doing that sales planning completely changed like my mindset. So if you have a business, from now to the rest of the year, how much money do you want to make? If you don't have that, you need to do that right now today. And then my biz bestie, when do you start planning for 2026? Next month? Are you starting already? If you're like my biz bestie, you're going to start looking at your 2026 based on what you did in 2025 and low key what you did in 2024. What do you want to do in 2026? If this is your first year in business, okay, all right. So how much are you making right now? What is that looking like? Add 20 or 30% to that and make that your goal for 2026. See, she's going to start working on 2026 next month. Next month is October. So shoot, me too. Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm selling and what it's going to look like. I've got to start brainstorming. She'll have it all written out. I'll brainstorm and then I'll solidify by November. She will have her whole plan together. She'll be like, oh, we doing this and this and this and this and this. She's so strategic and so focused. Love her. Okay, so you should set your goal. I did some see, I already knew it's no way it's September and you haven't even put anything pen to paper for 2026. You want to sit down and set a goal for yourself from now through the end of the year and start to look like, what would your 2026 look like, right? So sales goals and product sales goals. Sales goals like your income goal, money goal, and then your product sales, how many you have to sell. Because that got me sometimes like, oh, I want to have a 6-figure year. But when I was selling a $32 product, a 6-figure year, like I would have to sign a lot of people to make $8,000 in a month selling a $32 product. That's a lot of people to sign. So I increased my prices sometimes. And then sometimes I had to lower my goal because it was like, if I'm signing 40-ish people a month, right? That's only about $1,200 to $1,500 in a month. Trying to go from 40 people a month to trying to sign 400 people in a month, that's way too much. That's very unrealistic for where I was in my business. So it was like I need to either increase my price or lower my goal or sell another offer that's going to make me more money. Because with my current pricing, it was not going to work. So the first way to stop struggling in your business is to set sales goals for yourself. The other thing that I like about not even just sales goals, goals in general, the other thing that's really good about setting goals, this is one thing about me, I like to know where I'm going. So Pre-setting yearly goals, I would literally just do monthly. I had set goals for like how many subscribers I wanted. I had set goals for how much money I wanted to make from my YouTube ad revenue. So I had to create more content. I did set goals for like, okay, I want to get this month, I just want to get like 25 people into my $5 membership. But I never set anything long term. It was just like, I thought of a number and was like, okay, that sounds good. Let's do that. Last month, I signed 28 people. Let's see if we can do 30, right? When you have a goal, you know what you're working towards. You have a metric for yourself. Because again, this is your business. There's nobody from corporate. There's nobody from HR. There's no manager saying, okay, we need to make the $6,000 like at Joe's Crab Shack. We need to sell 6,000. There's 10 of y'all on the floor. Everybody's sales need to be between $600 and $1,000 because like we need to make this 6,000 this evening. We did lunch already. We need to make 6,000. There's 8 of y'all on the floor. Like everybody needs to be doing $1,000 in sales, right? So like, you know where you're going, you know what you're working towards. So every day when you're working in your business, when you're figuring out your marketing plan, your sales plan, all of that, you know what your goal is for the week. You got to sell 10 at $25. You know what your goal is for the week. Versus when I didn't have goals, it was just like flying by the seat of my pants, seeing what will happen. I like having a goal, a realistic goal that I know that it's possible and probable for me to hit. So that's my first tip for you to stop struggling in your business. Set some goals for yourself so you know where you're going and what you're working towards. My next tip for you, if you want to stop struggling in your business, you have to make it a priority and put the time on your calendar. I talked to one of my clients last night about this because she was like, Crystal, I need to find motivation. And what I teach, 1 hour per day in your business if it's a side hustle. If you have a 9 to 5, you have another way to make money, what have you, you should be giving your business 1 hour a day minimum. And on one of your days off, 2 to 3 hours. So in 7 days in a week, you should be working 7 to 10 hours in your business as a side hustle. But you have to put the time on your calendar. If you're struggling to stay motivated, if you're struggling to show up for your business, if you're struggling to make progress in an area, you have to be intentional and focused and make your business a priority and put the time on your calendar. When I had a 9 to 5, I literally cut things out to put time on my calendar for my business. The first thing I did was I stopped eating lunch with my coworkers. I got a 1 hour lunch every day. I told them I will eat lunch with them 1 day a week. It was Friday. Monday through Thursday, I was in my car. I was in a huddle room. I would have a notebook with me at all times. I would be jotting down YouTube video ideas and eating my lunch. I would go to my car. I would take my phone out. I would edit videos. I would respond to comments. I would look up I would make breakdowns. I would work on my business while I ate my lunch. That's 4 hours a week I was able to get. Back when I started my business in 2018, I still had DirecTV. We had Netflix, but we were still watching shows when they came on in real time. So I DVR'd everything except for in the summer. Big Brother was on from June to August. And I watched the Big Brother live eviction on Thursdays at 8. But every other show, I recorded in my DVR. And on Friday nights, after I worked my 1 hour in the business, I would sit on the couch with my sunflower seeds, some popcorn, and I would binge watch all my shows from the week. I did not sit every day and spend 2 to 3 hours on TV. Friday was also the day that if I wanted to watch a Netflix show, I would watch a Netflix show. And also sometimes on Saturday nights, I would turn Netflix on. All the other days, I'm not watching TV. I'm taking care of Kinsley. I'm cooking dinner. I'm cleaning. Once that girl was in bed, business. I put this time on my calendar. Monday through Thursday, my lunchtime was blocked. That was for business. Kinsley would go to bed by like 9:30 to midnight, blocked. That was for my business. I put it on my calendar and I showed up as if it was a meeting with someone. I made my business a priority. And because I had started to set goals, again, pre-business coach, it was only like a monthly goal of like, if I wanted to make $1,000 on my YouTube channel, I knew I needed to post 5 to 7 videos. So I would be sitting down planning, what are my 5 videos for this week? What are my 7 videos for the week? And then in 2019, when I started going live, okay, when am I going live? What am I talking about on live? So I was planning, but like week to week, month to month. So I knew what I needed to do. Breakdowns. I would always do my breakdowns on Wednesday and Thursday because Walgreens new ad came out on Wednesday. CVS, Target back then came out on Thursday. Whew. Publix came out on Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday were breakdown days. That's what I will be doing on my lunch break. I will be looking through the deals to see what deals I was going to be talking about and screen recording them. So when I got home, I could voice over my top deals videos. So like every day I knew what I was doing, but that time was on my calendar and it was non-negotiable. Saturday mornings was like a Kinsley day. So if she had a birthday party or we would go to Disney, we would do something on Saturday, like morning, afternoon. Then when we got home Saturday evening, she would be in the washed up in the bed. Mommy worked on her business. Sunday, all day I worked on my business. In the couponing world, and back in those days, in 2018 and 2019, Sunday was the day. On Sunday, I would go to CVS, I would go to Walgreens, and sometimes I would go to Walmart. I would record those 3 videos on Sunday. So we'd go to the store, we'd record in store. I'd record all the videos, get back home early afternoon, 12, 1 o'clock. I would edit all those videos. I would usually post CVS and Walgreens on Sunday. That was early on. And then I would save the Walmart for Monday. Then I started doing Target Tuesdays, where Tuesday mornings or Monday mornings, I would go to Target once I dropped Kinsley off at school. That was once I got fired. When I got fired, I did Target Tuesdays. So that was in August. So I started that once I got fired. But pre getting fired, there were days where if the Target deals were really good, I would go to Target on Sundays too. So like we'd go to CVS and Walgreens, then I'd go home, edit and upload the videos. Then I'd go back out and hit Walmart and Target if the deals were good that week. Once I got fired, I started adding on Target Tuesdays because I was like, I have more time. So I would go to Target on Monday mornings after I dropped her off at school. Gosh, I miss going to Target when there was like nobody in the store. I would drop Kinsley off at school at 8:15. They would be just opening. Like the aisles were empty. It was magnificent, but Target ruined that. I would go there and I would record my video on Monday and schedule it out for Tuesday. And then Thursday, I would post my top deals videos. And then some Saturdays we'd go to Dollar General. Friday, I'd post like an educational video. Like I was posting a YouTube video almost every single day, right? Every single day. So, it was so nice to have dedicated specific time for my business and not to feel freaking overwhelmed with everything. So it worked out really well for me. It worked out really well in the sense of like putting that time on my calendar made me have to show up for myself. And like I told my client last night, I had a deeper why. So this is another tip for you to stop struggling in your business. If you know you want your business, but you're feeling a little demotivated, I want you to figure out why you have your business deeper than the money. So I told her last night, I said, girl, I want you to write down 100 reasons why you need your business. And this is a great exercise for anyone who's feeling like unmotivated. And it's more than money. What does the money allow you to get in your life? What does the money mean for you, right? How is that going to manifest in your life and give you more of what you want and have a deeper why? My deeper why was I wanted time freedom. I wanted to be able to spend time with Kinsley and not have to jump through 17 hoops to get time off. My sister says I low-key have a problem with authority. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I did not want to have to answer to people who were not as smart as me. Like the 29-year-old version of me, she was a spitfire firecracker, okay? Okay. But I really wanted time freedom more than anything. I knew the money will come. Your sister and your Biz Bessie says that I don't think I have a problem with authority. I mean, I might a little bit. I mean, y'all could absolutely be right. And she has known me for a very long time. Moo has seen me. And when I think about it, I probably do. I mean, y'all are probably 100% right. But I wanted the time freedom. I basically wanted the freedom to do whatever I want. I did not want to wake up to an alarm clock. Oh my God. For the past like 3 years, I haven't had to wake up to an alarm clock. Like now, Kinsley got to go to school. So when she's with me, I got to drive her to school again. But outside of that, like I don't have to wake up to an alarm clock in the sense of like I have to rush to work. Even once I drop that girl off at school, I drop her off at school at 7:30. If I want to come back home and get in my bed, I can. right? I usually start working Instacart, work for myself, whatever. But I'm in charge of my own time. Like, I can get up and go whenever I want. Now the kids in school is a little less flexible versus when she was in virtual school. But like, even still, one of my side hustles, I travel to US, and when my sorority sister hits me up like, "Hey, can you go here? Like, can you go to Michigan?" Absolutely. So Kinsley's daddy, "Hey, you take Kinsley, I'm going to Michigan." Like, it's a work trip. I'm going to be gone for 3 days. I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to put PTO in. When I'm gone for 2 months doing work trips, I don't have to have someone on my time. Like, I got to make sure my kid is taken care of, and that's it. But whether I had a 9 to 5 or not, I always got to make sure the kid is taken care of, right? But that's another thing. Daycare. I can drop my kid off at school. I can pick her up. Every single event that her school has, I can go to. I don't have to ask early. I literally just move my schedule around to make it accommodate what's happening in life. If there's any big family events or things and I need to go to Baltimore for it, I just move my life around and I get my butt on that plane, or I get my butt in a car and I drive to Baltimore, or I fly to Baltimore, right? Like, I don't have to worry about my time being sucked up by someone who wouldn't care if I was gone today or tomorrow. They'd have my job up before my body was cold, right? So, like, that's probably the biggest motivator for me. Like, I always joke, I'll do anything but get a job. Like, I will try every side hustle. I will sell whatever I need to sell. I will figure it out, right? Like, I'll go back to 100% couponing content before I get a 9 to 5. Like, I still got the couponing YouTube channel. At any moment, the couponing Kristen Maximizer can flip a switch, and I can take my butt back to CVS 2 times a week. Absolutely. I would do a multitude of things before I went back to a 9 to 5. And this business journey has not been easy for me. I know I'm ranting right now, but business has not been easy. It is a roller coaster. There are $10,000 months and there's $1,000 months. Okay. You got a lot of savings and your savings is damn near negative. Like, it has not been a smooth sailing journey the whole time for me. Is my elbow ashy? It has been definitely a roller coaster, but I'm not getting off the ride. I will do anything but get a 9 to 5. I will do anything. I got 2 side hustles. Love it. I was just side hustling on Sunday, and I was just out there Instacarting today. Okay. Okay. And I've worked how many hours in my business today? I've worked almost 4 hours in my business today. My goal was to work between 4 and 5 hours. So I've reached my threshold. I've reached my every day 4 to 5 hours. And I work on Saturday and Sunday in my business too. Sunday, I usually do mostly Instacart, but Saturdays, I be putting in 5-6 hours in my business on Saturdays. So, like, I work every single day, whether I'm doing my side hustle, my business, as long as I reach my minimums. And the way I'm able to reach my minimums is by putting the time on my calendar, even though I'm full time. But if you have a 9 to 5, it's really crucial. It was so much more crucial for me to put my business on my calendar when I had a 9 to 5, because otherwise you won't make time for it, right? I don't ever want to give that up, right? Yes, I'm so serious. Like, that's why I was like, I'm going to post. I went couponing. I was like, I'm going to post a couponing video. And I already planned out a bunch of money saving content because I'm like, I want to make sure that channel is monetized, right? And since I've been monetized, I got monetized in December of 2018, got my first YouTube paycheck in January 2019. Since January 2019, I've gone 1 month that I did not get a YouTube check. And the minimum threshold for a check is $100. And I had made like $89 or like $92. So I missed it by like a few dollars. But I had not been creating couponing content over there. So I told myself, listen, if I got to make a video or 2 a month to make sure I always get the minimum, I usually make more than the minimum, like a couple $100 a month from that channel. But it's like, I will do what I need to do to make sure I'm always getting that. I will make a couple videos. I planned out some content, so I have some fresh fire couponing and money saving content, because the SEO over there is like, it's not dying. YouTube is pushing out those videos. Okay. I know I'm getting off topic, but put the time on your calendar. Okay. This is another one that is a little controversial, and it's contrary to what you're hearing on the internet right now. But it's a hill that I'm willing to die on. It's something that I know is true, especially if you are in the beginning or the early stages of your business. Okay. You will stop struggling in your business if you focus on marketing on one social media platform. If you focus on one social media platform to market your business and grow your audience, you will see the results that you desire. Okay, hold on one second. Sorry, I got an important text and Kinsley's texting me. She at her daddy's house. Okay, so choosing one social media platform allows you to focus. Less is more. If you're on social media now, you probably hear all the gurus saying post everywhere and be everywhere. That is true. But if you are a business owner and your main focus is to sell your product or service, and you are not making, I would say, $3,000 or more a month in your business, you should be focusing on one main platform. You want to focus on building your audience, getting them to know, like, and trust you, letting the world know that you are here and you exist on one social media platform first. You will burn yourself out trying to post on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Threads, X. If you are trying to post everywhere, every day, you are trying to be a content creator and not a business owner. All the greats started with one main thing. Apple, who we love so much, who started off as Macintosh, okay? It was Macintosh Apple. And the apple was like a rainbow apple, okay? Computers. They started with computers for years. You want to know how they got big and they have us millennials in a chokehold? Because they donated big ass desktop, colorful, beautiful desktops to our schools. And we had full Mac computer labs. That's what we called it. We didn't want to go to the dusty, crusty HP Dell computer lab. Take us to the Mac one. And our classrooms only had like one computer, if that. If we wanted to use the computer, you had to walk to the computer lab. Like there was just a lab of just computers. Mac got us in a chokehold, Apple, by donating those computers to our school. So when it was time to us to start buying products, it was Apple. But for years, all they did was computers. Then they created the iPod, right? And then from the iPod, we evolved to the iPhone. And then from the iPhone, we got the iPad. But desktops, then our laptop computers, and then years later, they created the iPod and then eventually the iPhone. They started off with one product. When you look at some of your favorite businesses and even some of your favorite content creators, influencers who became business owners, 99.9% of them started in one main platform. We think about the biggest streamer in the world right now, Casanat, Twitch. He started on Twitch. Twitch is his thing. He has all kinds of crazy deals with Twitch. He's not trying to be everywhere. And does his team cut up his clips and put him other places? Absolutely. But his team, when that boy started, it was him, his computer, and Twitch. And apparently he got really famous because a mouse ran through one of his lives. And that's what kind of blew him up. So him, the computer, and the mouse. Okay? You start on one main place. Jackie Aina, love her to death. Now she has her whole candle company. 10 plus years, she was just on YouTube. One main platform. Then she diversified. Okay? You want to have one main focus, then you diversify to other platforms. You want to get on your one main platform and you want to know it inside and out. You want to use all the features that it offers. You want to be showing up to your audience 3 to 5 times per week on that platform. If you're using Instagram, you should be in your stories every single day. If you're doing YouTube long form, you should be making 2 to 3 shorts a week as well, because that's what they like. If you're using Facebook, you should have a Facebook business page and figure out how to incorporate a Facebook group into your business. If Facebook is your main platform, you should not be using your personal profile. You should have a business page. You should be collecting reviews, and you should be figuring out if you're going to have a free or a paid Facebook group to go along with your business, right? If you're doing TikTok, you should be posting your TikToks every single week, and you should be going live. Okay? You should be going live on all the platforms, but TikTok live it's a great feature. It's one of the best features on TikTok is live, right? One of the best features on Instagram is the stories. The best thing about YouTube is the long form content. The shorts are driving people to your platform, but YouTube's big thing is the long form content. The best thing that you could be doing over on Facebook is having a Facebook group and utilizing it. So each one of the platforms have one main thing that really helps you, but then all the other things also pour into that. So if you're on a platform, you should be using everything. One thing that I don't use as much on my YouTube that I need to is my community tab. My community tab is completely underutilized. I don't use it nearly as much as I should. You can do polls, you can get feedback, you can get comments, you can do carousel posts over there now. I don't use it. It's underutilized. But that's an area of improvement that I can make on my main platform, which is YouTube. Okay? Another way to stop struggling in your business, and I had a chat with my biz bestie today, and I think I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I think I'm going to start my YouTube, Jesus. Start my email list from scratch. The next way to stop struggling in your business is to start your email list ASAP. You want to get your audience off of the social media platform, because as much as I love them, as much as it's made me, as much money as they've made me, we don't own our social media platforms. And just like how TikTok got banned for those 17 hours and it's still impending a ban, these social media platforms can be gone at any time. We don't own them. We don't own our followers. We don't own our DMs. They can take these social media platforms at any moment. Only thing you own is your website and your email list. So you want to be inviting your audience from the social media platform to get on my email list. So if you're watching this and you have a business or you want to start a business, make sure you're on my email list. Well, Crystal, how do I get on your email list? KristaMaximizer.com and click on join the list. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, it's in my bio. If you're on if you're on TikTok, there's a form that I just put down here. Okay? You can fill out that form and it'll get you to my email list. Get on my email list if you're not there already. That's when I share details about my offers. And later on this year, I'm going to be sharing more of like a weekly newsletter, because I haven't been doing that, but I need to. But more, instead of like a newsletter, it's going to be more like a content business tip of the week. Content for your business tip of the week. I need to be a little bit more intentional about it, but point being, you need an email list. You need a way to connect your ideal clients off of social media. So I highly suggest, if you don't have one, get one. I have like a playlist on my YouTube channel, Build a Business with Chris, where I share with you how to start an email list, the email service providers, and all the things. And the last thing that you can do to stop struggling in your business is to have systems and processes in place. Because while you may be a one woman or a one man show right now, you want to be operating your business thinking about the future. What I mean is, you may be one person right now, but if you add a VA, if you're writing everything on a notebook or keeping everything in your brain, can your VA see your notebook? No. Can your VA read your mind? No. If you get sick and someone needs to help you and your notebook is not available, does that help your business? No. If everything's in your mind and you're sick and you're overwhelmed, can you clearly articulate everything in your business? No. You need systems, you need processes, and as much as I hate to say this, because I hated them in corporate, you need standard operating procedures, even if you are a one-person show. Because if you are truly operating your business with a growth mindset and you are not going to be a one woman or one man show forever, you are going to need to train and teach people how to operate your business in the way that you like best, They can't do that if all the information is in your brain or written down on pen and paper, right? So systems, you need an email service provider. You should not be manually emailing people from your Gmail. You should have an email with your business name in it, not just Crystal at Crystal at gmail.com. You need an email with your business name in it. It costs like $7 a month from Google offers it, the G Suite. You can get that, right? You need a project management system to manage your tasks. There's a million of them out there. Trello, Asana, Monday.com, Airtable. You should be managing your tasks electronically. Now, if you're like me and you like to do pen and paper, my biz bestie, she got a million journals. She's a pen and paper girl too. But she transcribes her pen and paper stuff that's very important into her electronic sources. We also are big G Suite users, meaning we use Google Mail. We use our Google Calendars. We use Google Docs. I use Google Sheets. You can use Google Forms. This is free from Google. So if you buy the G Suite email address and it's $7 a month, it also comes with all the other Google products with it. Or if you're starting off and you're like, Crystal, I'm balling on a budget. Okay, you got your Gmail email address. It is free. You can use all the features of the G Suite, right? So even if you don't have a project management system yet, use Google Sheets and use Google Docs to put your tasks and everything in there, right? I manage my content electronically in a project management system. I use Airtable. You need a payment processor. How are you collecting money for your products and services? You got to have more than Cash App and Zelle and Venmo. Okay. Those are okay. But you are a business owner. You need to be able to take credit cards. Okay. G Suite. I love Google Docs. I put that in there. You need systems and processes in place. When someone finds you on social media and they go to your website, what is the process? What are they going to do when they get to your website, right? Like what's the process? On the back end, what does that look like when someone buys something from you? What processes happen? What things need to happen for them to actually get the physical product that you sell at their front door, right? You need to know all those things that happen behind the scenes. Okay. And then if you want to stop struggling in your business, you have to be consistent. Consistent in showing up for yourself, consistent in creating your content, consistent in your marketing, consistent within yourself, right? And if you're like, Crystal, I want to be consistent, but I need help. My last tip to stop struggling in your business, get the help that you need. Get a coach, go to therapy, get a mentor, get support. Maybe you're at the point where you're like, Crystal, I'm busting at the seams and I need help. Then maybe you need to hire a VA to help you. A few months ago, was it probably about 6 or 7 months ago, I helped one of my clients hire a new VA. And she created her application. She wrote down everything that she needed, what she wanted support with. She went into some Facebook groups and she was able to get I think we went through 12 or 13 applications. She picked her top 2 people. She offered it to the first woman and it's been working out ever since. I think she's been working with her for about 6 months now. Get the help that you need. Stop doing it alone. Stop struggling. If you're ready to get consistent help and support, seek it out. Okay. If I'm not the coach for you, go find someone that can help you. The one thing that helped me so much in my business was getting help, was talking to someone who has done what I've wanted or even more, someone who I could ask questions of, someone who could give me feedback, someone who could support me. It helped me so much, right? So if you're ready to be consistent, you're ready to show up every single week in your business, you're ready to create content that builds an audience, this is your invite to the Content Bootcamp. This is my 8-week group coaching program where I'm going to help you get consistent, where I'm going to help you show up every single week and you no longer going to be stressed out trying to figure out what the heck am I going to post? How am I going to show up? What does my audience need to hear? I'm going to teach you how to plan your content for 30 days at a time without the overwhelm. We're also not posting 3 to 5 times a day. I know that's really popular out there right now with all the content gurus. We're not posting 3 to 5 times a day. We're posting 3 to 5 times per week. So basically, I'm going to walk you through the process from beginning to end on how to plan, batch, and schedule your content for 30 days at a time. So imagine how you're going to feel going into marketing your business and building your audience if you don't have to stress and worry about what you're going to post. It wasn't until I started planning for months at a time that I was super consistent post-COVID. Pre-COVID, I was very consistent because I was just going to stores and shopping. Post-COVID, I had to, and during COVID, I had to get more strategic with my content because we couldn't go to the store. I would say 2020, the end of 2021 going into 2022 is when I really started to plan my content for 30 days at a time. So even though I knew like, okay, I couldn't record CVS in 2 weeks because you have to wait until the deals come out for you to record the videos, I would look at my calendar and be like, CVS on Sundays, Walgreens on Mondays, grocery shopping on Wednesdays, educational video on Thursdays, top deals on Thursdays. Like I had my calendar figured out to where 4 to 5 videos were getting posted every single week, but I planned them out for the month. And any of the ones that I could pre-record or any of the ones that I could get done early, I got them done early. And even still with CVS and Walgreens, I will record 3 videos on Sunday and drip them out throughout the week. So planning my content severely changed my ability to be able to sell more in my business. So because I wasn't figuring out every day I was planning, recording, editing a video. I was doing that every day for the first like year and a half. Post COVID, I was like, okay, if I record all of these videos at once, that gives me more time. I do follow-up calls. Like I call it smiling and dialing, where I'll pick up the phone, and I made a lot of sales in my business because I was reaching out to people from my email list or people who said, hey, Crystal, I want some help. Help me out. I made so many more sales because I wasn't focused on my content all the time. So if you're really ready to be consistent with your content, but also give yourself more time because you're going to be batching your tasks, you're going to want to be in the Content Bootcamp. I'm covering all things when it comes to content. I'm covering the big 4 platforms: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And I'm covering how to record, edit, schedule, everything that comes along with posting your content in the Content Bootcamp. So the best way to get information about the Content Bootcamp is to go to my website, KristenMaximizer.com, click on get on the email list, and then you will get an email that tells you all the details about the Content Bootcamp. You can also click on my YouTube, on my website, Content Bootcamp, and all the details are there as well. You also get more details on my email list, okay? So I would like to open up the floor for any questions. Let me make sure I didn't miss any on TikTok. Okay. Thank you for joining. But I think I covered questions just by inadvertently talking. But one question I get a lot when in regards to content is like, what platform should be my main platform? That is a question I get a lot when people are trying to figure out like what's the best platform for them. So personally, I would say when you're trying to figure out what platform is best for you, you want to find the intersection between where your ideal clients are the most and the platform that you want to be on the most, whatever that intersection is. I don't want Facebook to be my main platform. I've been there, done that with a Facebook group. If YouTube and TikTok went away, then I would be an Instagram and Facebook girly. And yes, I would start another Facebook group again. But as long as YouTube's here and TikTok's here, I will not be going over to Facebook because Facebook's not where I want to be. Do I have ideal clients on Facebook? Absolutely. I have ideal clients on every single platform. So I can market my business on any platform. But I just choose to have YouTube as my main platform. YouTube is Bay for me. YouTube is the platform that has made me a lot of money. I discovered today that I've made over $42,000 from the platform specifically. And most of my clients come from my YouTube channel. Most of my brand deals that I've ever done have come from my YouTube channels. So you want to pick where you want to be, where you want to create content, where you want to learn, and also where your ideal clients are. Okay. All right. Well, I do want to thank you all so much for joining me tonight. If you should have any questions after this live, please feel free to slide in my DMs over on TikTok or Instagram. I will be live again tomorrow around the same time. I do want to thank y'all so much for joining me. I'm about to take myself to the couch, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.